It's a warm August afternoon, but I'm actually thinking about cool winters and Christmas gifts and things like that because I am going to be brandying cherries this afternoon. The local cherries have just peaked. These are coming from BC, and so I'm going to take the opportunity here to put together one of my favorite gift items for people for the holidays. They're great on ice cream, but you can also just use the flavored brandy in place of a standard brandy in one of your types of cocktails or things like that. So something like a Manhattan or something would be much nicer with something like this. I'm going to start with washed and pitted cherries. So I've actually done all of these ones already, but I'll just show you a little bit here. These are really nice Bing cherries. They're coming out of BC here. You can tell the shape of the cherry. It's sort of heart-shaped, nice plump red. They look really nice today. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually pit each of these. I'm just going to give you a quick little demonstration here. This is a great little cherry pitter. I picked this up at a local hardware store. It makes life much easier if you can get a good cherry pitter to do your work for you. So just slip the cherry in, snap it out, pit's gone, add it to my collection. I'll just do a couple here for you. So those are all done. Excellent. So we can actually get started. So in addition to these pitted cherries, you're also going to need your standard canning supplies. So we are going to need a canning pot, which I have ready to go here with hot boiling water in it. I've also got a number of different sets of tongs, and I've got all of my mason jars that I've got ready to go. They've been washed, and these ones have been sterilized, so they've been boiled for about 5 minutes in the hot boiling water. The other thing you're also going to have to make sure you have is sugar and brandy. So you don't have to do anything too expensive with your brandy. It's going to pick up the flavor of the cherries, so don't worry about that too much. So a lot of people actually find canning kind of intimidating when they first start out. Canning is not that difficult. You can get really specific detailed instructions on many websites on processing and preserving goods. Great places to start, or grab yourself a book out of a local bookstore and you can get yourself started with things like that. Cherries, this particular recipe for brandy cherries is a great introduction because there's not very many steps involved at all. So here's my, this is a half pint jar, 250 mils. It's a good size because it means that I can give this away as a gift. It's a good single use item, something like that. And next what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take and actually pack this jar with cherries. So take it, give them a little squish, but not too much. You don't want to break them, but you do want them to be nice and tight in the jar. If you put too many in, they'll push the jar up, lid on the jar up when you're processing, and it won't seal properly. The next thing you're going to do is you're simply going to add some sugar to your jar. Now, you need about half of the jar filled with sugar, so just give it a little shake, tap, 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 to get the sugar down into the cherries. And that should probably fill about halfway. Last step is to just fill your jar with brandy. Now, on the jar, when you are finished with it, you need to ensure, first of all, there's a couple of things. One, again, if the cherries are popping up, give them a little push down. If they continue to pop up, you might need to take one out. You need to make sure that you clean the rim on your jar so that there's no material left on the jar so that the seal will actually be created properly. And you also need to ensure that you leave about 1/2 inch or 1 centimeter of space at the top of the brandy from the top of the jar. You need a little bit of air space for processing. Finally, I'm going to add a self-sealing snap lid to your jar and a ring. Seal it up. I'm just going to move it straight into the processing pot. It's going to go into the processing pot for about 10 minutes. When that's done, what you want to make sure that you check and see is that the top of your snap lid is actually pushed down. You want to have a downward slope to it. You'll know that and everything is sealed. The cherries should sit for about 3 months on your shelf, and then you can start using them. So again, enjoy.